me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
We have a great customer support system. It's a simple system. So 20 minutes maybe, and you're going to be a pro at it. And it was built purposely for that, because Parks and Rec people, we're all over the place. Watching kids in an after-school program, or running athletic leagues, or down the trails or the creek, paddling, looking for trees that fell down after a storm. Definitely Parks and Rec professionals. We're that first responder when it comes to their communities. We are involved in everything.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, live from NRPA Convention 2025. Today, we sit down with longtime Parks and Recreation professional turned vendor partner, Dave Ramirez. After 32 years in the field, David now works with OutdoorLink, a company transforming how communities manage their facilities through smart city technology and the Internet of Things. From solving late-night ball field light complaints in Hillsborough County to developing systems that control everything from sports complexes and outlets to gates, fountains, even hog traps, OutdoorLink is redefining efficiency for Parks and Rec. Dave also shares the importance of networking through NRPA and state associations, mentoring emerging leaders, and keeping the profession moving forward through innovation and connection. Whether you're a parks director, vendor, or future leader, this conversation is packed with insights on technology, partnerships, and the future of smart parks. Let's dive in.
All right, we're live again. Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show with a close friend, Dave Ramirez, one of the first people I met back in Alabama. Joseph, your coworker, found us in Louisiana, and he's like, "You got to meet Dave." And I think the next convention I went to, you were at what was that, Auburn? I think it was.
It was at Auburn.
Yeah. And so tell us a little bit about yourself, because you've been in Parks and Rec forever, and then you found your way in a different career, now working on the vendor side. But tell us a little bit about your background in Parks and Rec.
Sure. Good morning, Craig. Dave Ramirez. I'm 32-year Parks and Rec professional. Retired just over 2 years ago. Worked over in Hillsborough County, Tampa Bay area of Florida. Retired as the athletic director, and like I said, did everything you could think of in Parks and Recreation. Started as a summer worker all the way up to that top position in the department. And after 32 years, it was time for the change. And OutdoorLink, I was a client of OutdoorLink.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend any professional you do, if you're going to move on, you always let everybody know that, it's been great working with you and stuff. And had some opportunities after I sent that email out to everybody. And OutdoorLink, when I came on board, I helped them develop, sit down at the table with them and develop the system to help control the ball field lights in Hillsborough County. We had 55 sports complexes, so a lot of ball fields with lights. And the problem was the lights were not being turned off. And let me tell you, I was getting those calls from the commissioners and the neighbors and the community.
Oh, yeah.
Every other day about lights burning at 2 a.m. So we came up with a platform to help us, where if we got that call, we could use our cell phone to knock the lights off and not worry about sending somebody and paying them overtime to go ahead and turn them off.
Yeah. Now, OutdoorLink, they were born in the billboard industry, correct?
That is correct. They started back then in 2007. Basically, what we're doing is controlling the lights and digital billboards around the country.
Yeah. And so the good thing about that is all the kinks were worked out in the billboard industry. And so you've got these devices in every harsh scenario, from freezing to desert to humid. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, aren't y'all on your like 6th or 7th generation?
That is correct.
Gotten better and better and better.
We have a home engineering team based out of Huntsville, and we are constantly looking to stay up with times and improve our system, our controls, and our platform. And yes, that's what we're doing. And we are definitely on top of things.
Oh yeah. Now tell people about the as far as do y'all depend on the local Wi-Fi, which might be an issue if there is no Wi-Fi. Tell us about how y'all's system acts independent of whatever surroundings it's in.
Yeah, well, our system is not Wi-Fi based. We are a cellular controller. So our all of our systems has a universal cell card basically built in. So you purchase the unit. We do a diagnostic check to see what the best signal is in the area, and we're going to be able to go ahead and ping off that, and you're going to be able to have cellular service, which is far more reliable at times than Wi-Fi. Some of those most remote areas, again, being in part of the billboard world as well, some of those billboards in the middle of nowhere. I know in Hillsborough County, I had some parks that were in the middle of nowhere, and we were able to go ahead and get those systems hooked up and ping off the signals so they could go ahead and manage, monitor, and control their lights or whatever amenity they have hooked up to it.
Yeah, and so this is, and I should have started this off, but OutdoorLink has come on as a strategic partner for the Daily Parks and Rec Show. And one of the things we're going to do together is we're going to co-create a show all on smart cities and the technology as it rolls in to control all the connected devices. And of course, OutdoorLink squarely fits inside of the Internet of Things, the smart cities, so that now you can control so many things, not just lights. It's kind of where they started, but maybe let's talk about, so first of all, great to have y'all as a partnership on board, helping us to create the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
Super excited to be involved with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Looking forward to get out there and talk to people and share stories and, from clients, upcoming clients, or people that have questions. I think it's going to be a real nice open forum for people to, come on and ask and learn. You know what I'm saying? Because we're here to teach too. It's one of those things where, we just don't sell you a unit and, good luck. We have a great customer support system. It's a simple system. So 20 minutes maybe, and you're going to be a pro at it. And it was built purposely for that, because Parks and Rec people, we're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? If we're not, watching kids in an after school program, or, running athletic leagues, or, down the trails or the creek, paddling, looking for trees that fell down after a storm, definitely Parks and Rec professionals. We're that first responder when it comes to their communities. We are involved in everything. So we want to keep it simple,
right?
Keep it easy.
Right. And that's really a testament to the quality of any product. If you need ongoing, nonstop, long training to figure out something, then it just is not engineered well. And the user interface is so complex, and you have to practically be an IT person to be able to operate many systems. And so hats off to your design team that made it to where someone that has no IT background is not a very techie person, can be taught how to use your system in 15 minutes.
Most definitely.
Yeah. That's a big plus, especially since you hand out permission to turn off fields to coaches and coaching staff for, say, a month or two, and then you take it back. And so you don't want something complex. Otherwise the coaches are constantly calling you, which that's not fixing the problem.
Exactly. And like I said, we have different parameters for each user. So you got an administrator that can pretty much do everything. And then you have the lowest permission where someone could just turn on and off as needed.
Yeah.
In my case, when I was the athletic director in Hillsborough, we had volunteer-based leagues. We were so big, we didn't have staff at every site, so we had to give the permissions to the league. And the nice thing is, we had, we could go in and look at reports that are built into the system, so we could see that they were using the lights properly. They weren't, if we knew there was nothing going on a Wednesday night and we see that lights were on, it's a problem, and you go find out why.
Yeah.
And again, it's just the way you sort of build it the way you need it once you get it.
Right. And so what are some of the other uses? Because I know when as Internet of Things, and for those that don't know, the things are all the electrical devices that are now connected to the internet in a smart way. That's why they call it smart cities and Internet of Things. So lights are obvious on baseball and soccer fields, but what are some of the other things you're starting to see different clients come up with ideas and use your device for?
When I started with the company, it was all about sports lighting. And then, myself and our CEO, DJ Jennings, we talked. I said, we could control that outlet, and I know there's problems throughout the country with unhoused, where people come in and plug in after hours and whatnot, loiter. We started controlling outlets outside. Instead of putting those plastic covers that always got broken off, vandalized. We just shut the power down. Instead of flipping a breaker, just schedule it off at a certain time and turn on at a certain time.
Yeah.
Door locks, gates, water features. If you have fountains and you don't need to run fountains 24/7, but maybe need to just have the circulation going, you can go ahead and do it that way. We could do fountains. Pretty much anything that's electric, we can go ahead and control. The Parks and Rec people, the professionals, are creative, man. So I've got a lot of ideas thrown at me, saying, "Hey, can you do this?" And I'm like, you know what? I think we can, or yes, we can. And let's take a look at it. And if there's a question about it, our engineer, top-notch engineering team, man, I'll throw it at them, get their input.
Yeah, imagine anything that's got an on and off switch that's electrically powered. I think it should be able to fit in that category, and it's just a matter of the creativeness of your clients to say, "Hey, we have something. We think we want to add it to the list of things we can turn off and on." Yep. I imagine y'all can find a way to do it.
We're even controlling like hog traps.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we got our controllers in a few states where they have the pen set up and it's a live feed, and when they come in, somebody's hitting a button to go ahead and shut the lid on them. You know what I'm saying? It's anything. It's amazing, how versatile our system is.
Well, I'd like to take a little bit of time to maybe give a shout out to NRPA, and not just them, but also all the other state conferences and conventions, because I know y'all attend nearly all of them as a company. And so maybe just give a testimony to how important it's been for you formerly when you were working in the Parks and Rec department to make connections and to educate yourself, but then also as a vendor, what has that meant to y'all to attend all these shows?
Well, as a former professional Parks and Rec professional, I was part of the Florida Recreation Park Association. Tremendous organization. Definitely helped me gear my career to where it went, and I give FRPA credit today because I learned a lot. They have a lot of leadership academies. I'm a proud graduate of the John Abrams Academy and Emerging Leaders with Florida. And, those opportunities speak volumes. And when you do these programs, you meet people. And the networking part, I would recommend to any young professional. Go introduce yourself. Have a business card. Talk 5 minutes with somebody. Parks and Rec professionals that have been around a long time, man, they don't mind sharing their stories.
Oh, yeah.
And telling them, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. And, for me, I've always been, I always like to get involved with those emerging leader groups. I mentored many directors around the country at this moment, you know what I'm saying? And Thursday, I'll have a few of them coming out and doing some interviews with me, which I'm excited about. But, and then when it comes to the state associations, that is, that's the hub of the profession. I always recommend, I believe we're part of about 30 or so associations around the country right now. And, their chats, their forums, I'm constantly, like throwing stuff out there and getting involved. And they've been super successful, or they've been super supportive of us as a vendor. Again, because we came into the market really unknown. People didn't know who we were. And part of my role was to put the word out there.
That's it. You've done a great job in that.
Yeah. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. We had a great event last night here at NRPA. And, well over, 500 people showed up, and it was great. Just people were talking to each other and doing that networking thing. And that's what it was all about. So, however we could get involved, I'll be traveling around to another 4 or 5 states before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then we started all again in January. And, like I said, from Maine all the way to California, we're hitting the country, just sharing the word about what we do and what we provide. But NRPA, again, I've been a member probably since 2004, and it's just a great organization. I would recommend anybody become a member, and get involved.
Yeah,
get involved.
Yeah, definitely get involved. This is a very much volunteer-driven organization, as is our the state organizations as well. And you'll be interviewing on Wednesday the executive director for Florida and the president.
Actually, Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. That's
yes,
right.
Yeah, Eleanor Warmack's gonna be my first guest on Thursday morning, and she's excited to come on and just share her story. She's been in the field for well over or around 40 years.
Wow.
And she's done an amazing job here in the state of Florida. So I'm excited to have her come on and share a little bit with everybody.
Yeah, because I think Florida's got to be at least in the top 5 nationwide as far as just population.
I'm going to even say top 3. I'm going to go ahead and narrow it down. You know, there's some big state associations, but Florida does a great job.
Yeah.
You know, there's other states around the country too, Illinois, California, Texas.
Right.
You know, they do amazing conferences as well. So, you know, this, again, it's a great state. You know, here in Florida, it's activities 24/7, you know what I'm saying? 365, you know, we may have a storm come through every now and then, but you know, we pick it up, clean it up, and get back to business.
Don't let that slow us down too much.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And then I look forward to helping you host your 4 guests on Thursday.
Yep.
And definitely look forward to creating content with OutdoorLink, a great vendor that is square in the middle of helping cities embrace this new technology, become a smart city, start using Internet of Things. And so we're just going to have a blast doing that. So.
We're very excited about the opportunity and just working with you and getting the word out. You know, looking forward to meeting people as well.
Fantastic. Well, have a great convention, Dave.
You do the same.
Right.
Thanks, Craig.
Take care.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.